All right, the time is now 6:12, and here's a full look at your forecast. And we're going to start with today because this is going to be the most important day, folks, with those strong thunderstorms in place, and mainly going to be in the late afternoon, early evening. And we're going to break it all down for you in addition to the scattered thunderstorms to start your Tuesday before we dry off in just a little bit. But then once we dry out, we're going to hover around those upper 60s for your Wednesday and Thursday before wind shift come out of the south, and we're going to be much warmer for your Friday. Highs getting to around that 80-degree mark in many areas. Now let's take a look at that radar because we are starting to see a few isolated shower activity. This is not the main threat. The main threat's going to be later on this afternoon into the early evening hours. And there you see it mainly over portions of Milam, Burleson counties, as well as some portions of Brazos County as well. And this is out ahead of that frontal boundary. That's going to be making its way through portions of Texas later on this afternoon. And then once it conjoins with that warm front, it's going to form a warm sector right over central Texas. And that's where a majority of the energy, the majority of the instability will be. And that could be what creates those strong thunderstorms, which could contain some damaging winds as well as some large hail, maybe one or two isolated tornadoes. As a result, there is an enhanced risk put out by the Storm Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma for most of central Texas, a vast majority of central Texas, and all of the Brazos Valley. That's a 3 out of 5. It's middle of the road, but I do think we won't see much in terms of tornadoes, but we could be seeing the hail and the damaging winds. I think those are going to be the main threats this afternoon. But as we go hour by hour, by the time we get to around 1 o'clock, there you see a few isolated to scattered thunderstorms already, and that could actually limit some of that instability because this is one of those days where you don't want the sun out, and rain can really stabilize the atmosphere. However, by the time we get to around 6 o'clock, that's when that main line of thunderstorms makes its way through central Texas, and some of our western zones even dry out for the occasion. And then by the time we get to early Tuesday morning, could be seeing a few lingering showers and thunderstorms before we dry out by the time we get to 8 in the morning, and will be mostly dry throughout the course of the day on your Tuesday. Rainfall amounts are going to be very plentiful in a lot of areas. Models now showing a lot of our eastern zones getting possibly between an inch, maybe even an inch and a half, in some areas maybe even getting to 2 inches as well, such as Fairfield as well as Cameron getting up to that mark. Some of our western zones are the most drought stricken, but they do get maybe around 3/10 of an inch of rain according to this model. But I do think more areas will see more rain, and it will be beneficial for our drought situation. Here in Temple, we're already seeing some of those showers. Temperatures in those upper 50s, that light east-southeasterly breeze at around 10 miles an hour. And once we keep those showers going throughout the course of the day, that can limit matters. But definitely we could still be seeing those severe thunderstorms this afternoon. Areas along and east of the I-35 corridor, as well as all the Brazos valleys, under a wind advisory from noon until 7 o'clock tonight because of the wind threat associated with these storms. And Madison and Grimes counties are under that flood advisory for that heavy rain like I talked about. As a result of all of it, I'm going to give it a 4 on the Jordy meter. Just not a good day to be outside, and make sure you have multiple ways to receive warnings in case you do lose power. Chris?